What's up, guys? Been a long day, a couple hours late. I apologize. Usually I've been doing these lives 11 a.m. my time in Sydney. It is 2 p.m. That's the life of an entrepreneur. I work for myself. So you Americans tuning in from Philly, the East Coast, if you're still up, I appreciate it. Out West, if you're still up, I appreciate it. But the show must go on. We're going to talk about an array of topics today. Give me a couple minutes while I spread the word. If you guys aren't following us on Facebook, our boxing group, Boxing News Today, do it now. That link is in my YouTube channel's bio. So if you just go to Johnny Says, you'll see the Facebook link and the Instagram link, and follow us there. So today we're going to go over the goings on of the boxing world. So it is already midweek. A couple things. I'll give you a rundown real quick of what I want to talk about. If there's anything that you want to add in, just put it in the chat and we can talk about that as well. But we know we have some big fights this coming weekend. We have the fight card in Miami with Teofimo Lopez and Steve Claggett. We have the fight card in the desert in Arizona between Bam Rodriguez and Juan Francisco Estrada. And then the following week, we have Shakur Stevenson. And the week after that, we have Boots Ennis. But today, I want to talk about we might as well just start here with some news that I woke up to in Sydney. And I get up at 5 a.m. every morning. My first client, I have my private training studio here. So if you guys are ever in Sydney and want to do a session, right below me is where I train people in my private studio. So I get up at 5 a.m. I rock with your channel. Thank you, DD, to win. Whatever you want to talk about today. If you want to open a conversation, D4 to win, let me know. One of the things I wanted to mention first, when I woke up, I saw the news I saw what was happening. We know what's going on with Devin and Garcia, right? We know about Devin asking to step away from the WBC. There's been some channels on YouTube. And look, I got to be honest with you. I'm not a diehard Devin Haney fan, and I'm not a diehard Ryan Garcia fan. I watched the fight. I'm not a fanboy of any fighter. I'm a fan of the sport. So I did a video today. I need to do this preface because it's easier to do a preface live and have it captured than encapsulate it in a 1-minute reel or just do I don't want to do an edited video because I could easily grab my expensive camera and do a chopped up edited version of what I want to say, but that's not authentic. So what I wanted to say is I wanted to start with, I'm not a diehard Dev fan. I'm not a diehard Garcia fan. I'm a diehard boxing fan. It's my first love. And the more you follow me, the more you understand my narrative. It's about the sport, okay? So Dev asks to walk away for the time period from the WBC. The WBC grants him this, similar to what they've done with Terrence Crawford, allowing Bud to go up to 54 to fight Madrimov, not take his belt, call him a champion in recess, and from there he's going to have to make a decision if he wants to come back down to 47. That's Bud. Devin's doing the same thing with different reasons. He wants to take time to step away from the sport, to get his mind right, to get his body right. That's fine. This is boxing. It's a blood sport. He does that, requests the WBC for a champion and recess title. They grant him that, okay? Now we're caught up. Then they boost Alberto Puello to full champion, which is great. Nobody's arguing that. He looked great against GAR. GAR said that he wants to be he wants to get the winner of Alberto Puello and dude, slipping my name. It's been a long day, but we know who Puello's taking on. I need a young Jamie. Sandor Martin. Okay, so Puello's taking on Martin. GAR is taking on the winner, and Devin is champion recess. I wake up this morning. Ryan Garcia on his own platforms. Sandor Martin, there he is. On his own platform says that Devin Haney is stripped. So that then makes this YouTube. There's a couple YouTube channels. I'm sure you guys follow them. What's his name? The fellow from Texas. He makes the big faces, and all of his images are kind of comical. I don't follow him, but he does it. He has a way big following than me. I've only been in the game about 9-10 months. He's been doing it 10 years. He probably has 1 million subs. I have 16,000, but I'm coming. Just believe that. And he does this video based on what Ryan Garcia says and says that Devin Haney is stripped. So in my boxing group, I have one of the groups is 115,000 people. The other group's 10,000 people. And I'm seeing all these people sharing Haney stripped, Haney stripped. And I had to set the record straight. Haney was not stripped. You get stripped if you pop dirty for steroids. You get stripped if you get arrested. You get stripped if you drunk driving. That's how you do something illegal to get stripped, okay? When you proactively ask for a champion in recess. Those are legal precedents. You cannot be stripped under a legal precedent. So I don't know if Showbiz is his name. I don't know if Showbiz is just making clickbait so people could click on his videos, and if that's fine, keep doing it. You know, that's what he has to do that. But that's not real. And what that causes, because he has such a big following, it causes all the casuals to share that misinformation, that narrative in the boxing groups. Haney stripped. That's one lie. A second lie I woke up to, and I did a short about this, is Ryan Garcia talking about how Devin Haney was asking DAZN, asking YouTube, and threatening DAZN and YouTube with legality if they didn't take that fight down. That is not true. There is nothing in public record. I have a source close to the Haney camp, close to the Mayweather guys in Vegas. I lived in Vegas for 2 years. I don't have to prove myself who I know, but what I'm saying is I know for a fact Team Haney didn't do that. Garcia posts this on his Instagram profile with his millions of followers, knowing that they're going to share this, to just purposefully kind of push this narrative about Haney. So I did a video about, and nobody seems to be defending Haney in a sense of with facts. People might be defending Haney fans and saying that, you know, Ryan cheated. I wanted to do a video on facts. And like I said, I'm not pro Team Haney and I'm not pro Garcia. I did this video because I'm pro boxing and nobody's holding Garcia accountable. And there was 4 times just in the last 4 months that Garcia has lied, gaslit, and created false narratives to boost his own brand. And that's on the shorts right now. I just posted it, and you guys would be shocked. He said in March that his next fight, which was April 6th in the Haney fight, he said in March he was donating $20 million to Palestine. He said that in March. He put it on all over social medias. It went viral. He fought Devin Haney April 6th, not one penny. There's organizations now that have been started, like pages, who are tracking this. And all you have to do is Google it. You don't have to search too hard to see that Garcia never put one penny towards anything, any fund towards Palestinian fighters, that what's happening in Palestine, nothing. He said that to create a ruse and to gaslight his fans to kind of virtue signal. That's one. The Logan Paul threatened him twice, once individually with the defamation suit and once with the prime. We know with the defamation suit, Ryan Garcia was creating fake texts. He was creating fake text messages going back and forth with Paul, but they were fake. Paul was never saying what Ryan was saying he was saying. And because Paul is in the public eye as an entertainer, WWE, he had to take legality based on defamation. Then the Prime Energy, Ryan Garcia did a post about, and look, I'm not even a hater. I'm just trying to tell Garcia fans or people who are casuals that, look, like, this guy isn't a saint. He's not perfect in this equation. He's a proven, accused, and convicted drug cheat. And the Prime Energy drink, he did that post about how Prime was bad for kids, and they forced lawsuit. He pulls back his post, and we know he's basically showing guilt because Prime was like, no, it's not as bad for what you're saying. 3, and then this 4th one with Haney and YouTube and DAZN, and this is going to come out in the next few days. Team Haney isn't only going to press forward with legality issues on what they feel the after effects happen with Devin because Ryan busted for steroids, but also with his public brand, the Haney brand. Bill Haney has his own brand. The brother has his brand. And what Garcia has done to this, they're kind of using these sort of keynotes, the 4 things I just mentioned, moving forward. So don't be shocked if the fake news Garcia spread about DAZN and YouTube is brought up in a civil suit from Team Haney. And I wanted to get that off my back. And I'm not even a Devin Haney supporter. I'm a boxing supporter, and nobody was defending the facts of the sport. And go to any of your boxing forum that you subscribe to on Facebook, and you'll see Haney, threatens DAZN, and Garcia put it on his wall, and it's all lies. It's all bullshit. Showbiz got it wrong. College strip too, but at least he corrected. Cool. I did not know he corrected it. That's awesome. Devin denied it. Devin didn't say it. He didn't donate because he doesn't know where the money was going. Didn't trust the organization to start his own organization. Awesome. Hopefully he does. We just need a rematch. We do. Look, guys, and my last point on this before we move on is nothing, however it happened, April 6th, Ryan winning, Devin getting beat up, it's not good for the sport. Whether you're a Garcia fan or you're a Dev fan, what's transpired, it's not good for the sport. I wouldn't want that. It's obviously affecting both guys negatively in terms of both of their legacies. You know, it's not what this isn't like, this isn't the days and age of Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward having a trilogy in a war. You know, early 2000s, they almost kill each other in the first fight, and then they're seen in the hospital together, and then they fight 2 more times, and then for Arturo's last fight, Mickey Ward trains him. You know what I mean? That's a legacy type defining storied sort of narrative about two guys who meet in the middle and they have a rivalry. This is not that. This is a sign. This is a sign of, I think, there's so many toxic sort of hands in this story from both sides, from Team Haney, Team Garcia. I hope both young men, they're both young men, guys. Let's not forget about that. Both guys are in their mid-20s. They have their whole life in front of them. And both guys, hopefully they figure their mind out and get healthy, because I still want to see these guys fight at a healthy, high level. They just got to get healthy. I mean, did you guys see Ryan at playing poker? He did not look well. This is coming from a guy who lived in Las Vegas for 2 years, lived in LA for 7 years. I was a nightclub bartender. I used to sell blow. I used to sell weed. I used to do all of it. And you could tell when somebody's fucked up. You could tell by their face. You could tell how they get a swelled look. I used to live my life that way. So when I saw Ryan at the tables playing poker next to Jimmy Butler, and the one dude with the beard who's like a millionaire, you could see he was hammered. He's swollen from like alcohol, lack of sleep, and whatever it may be. And a kid who's that talented, who's done so much so far in his career, you just don't want to see that. Even if you're not a fan of Ryan, you want Ryan to be healthy, you want him to be well, and you want him to be around good people. And, hopefully they get to figure all that out. All right. Hopefully that's the last thing I say about it, because I had to kind of, I was getting some shit about being I might get called a Ryan Garcia hater, but I'm not a Ryan Garcia hater. I think he needs a little bit of accountability from his camp, and we've seen it happen time and time again about boxers, young athletes with a lot of talent, artists, rappers, actors. They surround themselves with a lot of yes men because the people around them don't want to, say no to them, because then all of a sudden their money's stopped. All of a sudden, their stream of income is stopped. They're not on the jets going to the parties. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have the answers here. Look, I'm not trying to come out of some, self-righteous, fortuitous guy. I don't have the answers. I just want boxing. I just hope they make it right for boxing. Guys, I did a post about Tank and Lomachenko. Let's turn the page. Every boxer lies. I don't want to say every boxer lies, man. I manage boxers. I've been boxing since I was a kid. One of my good childhood friends, Jeremy, was the middleweight champion of the world, Kelly Pavlik. He's a stand-up guy. Not every boxer lies. Some of the greatest men in the world are fucking combat fighters. So to say a blanket statement like every boxer lies, you've never been to a boxing gym. You've never walked into how cherished those ring sessions are. If you want to really understand a boxer, Jeremy, go to wherever your local boxing gym is. Don't tell them you box. Say you've never boxed before, because if you go in there and say you have boxed, you're going to get your ass beat. Say you've never boxed and you just want to watch a sparring session. And at least down here in Sydney, Australia, I can take you to Bondi Boxing Club right here in Alexandria. And you'll walk in there and you'll be blown away with how reverent it is. Last time, Sam Goodman was sparring. Sam Goodman's a world-ranked guy. They're matching his name up with Naoya Inoue, but he's fighting this July against another opponent. And I remember about 9 months ago, October, I was managing a girl fighter named Lynn Sandstrom. And I go down to Bondi Boxing Club, and Sam Goodman's in the ring getting some rounds in with 3 different fighters. And it's like a Saturday at 11 in the morning. And you walk in, and the only thing you could hear are the Sam and his sparring partner. And around the ring were like 30 boxers. A lot of them were like amateurs in late teens, early 20s, sitting Indian style, watching them, not saying a fucking word, no phones out, no one talking shit. It was like we were in mass. It was like church. So when you talk about every boxer lies, I don't want to hear that shit. Boxers are some of the most disciplined, samurai-like athletes on earth. It's just sometimes when they get at a certain level, it's only the negative news that you hear. So let's get to Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis. I did a post about, we know that potential fight is heating up with their management. We've been seeing that in the news. If you guys follow like Boxing 24, Boxing News, everybody lies. That's a fact. Okay, mate. What is this, Braveheart? Next thing you're going to tell me not everybody truly lives? Sweet. Back to Tank Davis. We're seeing that talks are heating up. They're looking for an October or November fight date. And this narrative has been going around in boxing groups that the fight should have taken place years ago. And I posed the question. Everybody thinks that fight between Loma and Tank should have happened. Well, they're not necessarily saying it should have happened 7 years ago, but people are saying it's happening 7 years too late. You know what I'm saying? So they're saying that Loma should have fought Tank when he first went from amateur to pro, when Tank was 22. And I go, and I did a post today, and there's kind of a back and forth on this. I'm like, this is horseshit. This is exactly what's supposed to happen. Loma just turned 36 this past February. So 3 months ago, Loma just turned 36. Gervonta turns 30 this November. So if they fight in November, Tank is 30, Loma's 36, okay? 7 years ago from today right now, you're talking about a 22-year-old Tank versus a 29-year-old Loma. I don't want to see that fight. It's still earlier than Pac-Man. Yeah, dude. I don't want to see a 22-year-old Tank versus a 29-year-old Lomachenko, but I want to see a 30-year-old Tank versus a 36-year-old Lomachenko. I think that's a much better fight, and I think it's going to really impress people, the back and forth of those two guys. Yeah, I knew what you meant with Pac and Mayweather. They were in their mid to late 30s, weren't they? And I don't have I need another fucking laptop so I can do here, but I have a pretty good memory. I'm pretty sure Pac and Mayweather were in their mid to late 30s when they fought. And but 30 and 35 is great. They're both still in their prime. We still see Loma. The good thing about Loma, which makes it interesting, is that in relation to Tank, is Tank has only gotten better and more confident in his style and his marauding style. He's gotten a lot better with his angles, and he's obviously been a great counter and patient boxer. But with Loma, he's actually starting to move less. So his movement is still high level. But when you talk about, we talked about this yesterday on the live about what footwork is and how some fighters have a good economy of energy. Some fighters move too much, and sometimes the lack of movement is good footwork. We were talking about Tim Tszyu, how Tim Tszyu controls that front foot, what he does with his style, how he doesn't exit a lot, which means he's not wasting a lot of energy. A lot of his movements are on that front foot, making you make a mistake and stay there with that pressure. That's still great footwork. What Loma has done is he's mitigated a lot of early career, late footwork movements. Stylistically is so intriguing. Totally agree, man. And we can play Monday morning quarterback. We can sit here and act like we know how it would go. The only time I'll ever do prediction videos is a week before the actual fight. I just did a prediction video on Teofimo and Steve Claggett. That's the video I posted today. But until Tank and Loma gets signed, sealed, and delivered, and we're at fight week, that's when I'll do my prediction video. But with Lomachenko, he's moving a lot less, still has his great angles, and he's sitting down a lot more on his power shots. And that's going to be interesting to see because he's 5'8", Tank's 5'5". We both know that, weight classes matter, but Tank's doesn't really cut a lot. He just fought at 135 against Frank Martin, and he came in, I think, at 133. You know what I mean? And so I think it's perfect for those two guys to fight. Aram will make it. Is getting old too. Yeah, Aram's like 1,000. Well, Aram's like 930. How old's Bob? Bob might be 90. Bob might be 136 years old. He's been in the game forever. You gotta love Bob. Man, Bob's been in the game forever. I think he's 92 to be legit. And we got Claggett, Lopez. Tomorrow I'm doing the video. I did my prediction, Lopez, Claggett. Tomorrow I'm doing the prediction of Bam Rodriguez versus Juan Francisco. And what else do we got this week? Estrada. Yeah. So there's some good boxing this week if you guys are boxing heads. I think Australia does these. I don't know if they stream them in America, but they've been doing these Wednesday night fights on Channel 7. Jack, do you live in Australia? Does anyone live in Australia here? But I was thinking about doing a live stream during the Australian fights. They start at 7 p.m. Who knows if I'll still be up, though, man. I go to bed early. I'm an old head. I went to bed last night at 8. Who do you guys like this weekend? What fight are you watching? Are you going to watch the Teofimo? Jack, we're both in Sydney. That's what's up. Have you been watching those Channel 7 fights? The ones that I think they're calling it Premier. They might be calling it Premier Champions. D for the win. Bam. Me too. Bam has an opportunity here to come back up to that weight class to get the belt that he vacated against the guy that took his belt. And if you guys watch this, I put up a video of Bam sparring with Chocolatito, and Chocolatito had those two great fights with Estrada. Estrada won a close split, and then he won a unanimous. And Chocolatito fans believe that Chocolatito won both of those. So could you imagine a Hall of Famer like Chocolatito sparring with Bam Rodriguez, a 24-year-old, just going to reach his physical prime, and the lessons and tips that he's getting from Chocolatito going into a fight in which his sparring partner has fought him 24 rounds? It's exciting. That's the stuff in boxing that excites me, is when knowledge is like when you pass knowledge on, you pay it forward. I also posted a cool video today, like a 12-second video if you're in the boxing group, of Bam Rodriguez is a 12-year-old in the ring at one of these fight weeks for Nonito Donaire, and Nonito Donaire is holding pads for him. And even as a 12-year-old, Bam looks like he's 7. And Nonito's telling him to hit the jab, hit the double cross. And they do it for about 12 seconds. And Nonito goes, this little kid's going to be a great one. And come on, you can't make this stuff up. And look, Bam Rodriguez is on his way being a great one. He's a fun fighter to watch. Jack P, Channel 7, no man, what? All right, I'll show you real quick. So Channel 7. So this is something that I think the boys out of Newcastle. So Glenn Jennings, the manager of Tim Tszyu, and Glenn used to manage Costa Tszyu. So Tim Tszyu's whole camp is literally a copy and paste of the generation before of his dad. That's what makes it really special. The guys involved with what's happening in Newcastle started a boxing league that they're meant to get more exposure, because right now in Australia, guys, if you're unaware, the one party in town is No Limit. No Limit is the one that Tim was signed to, and a lot of the fighters who fight on the No Limit cards, all the other good fighters in Australia aren't getting airtime. It's why if you watch a No Limit card, they'll only put their guys on. You never see George. You never see Liam Perro. They won't even mention Kambosos on a No Limit card. They won't mention Liam Perro on a No Limit card. So because of this, the boxing zeitgeist in Australia, they started this Channel 7 boxing. It's called Google. It might be called Premier. It's called Premier Boxing Series. It's on 7 Plus, guys, if you're Aussie. And it's every Wednesday night. The next fight is Mitch Leake versus Jack Brubaker. Tell me that's not fucking tonight. Mitch Leake, Brubaker. So this. Just type in, if you're Aussie, type in Premier Boxing Series and see what comes up. Channel 7. Premier Boxing Series. I know Brubaker's planning for a fight. I don't know. I think that fight might have already happened. Need to do an underappreciated resume video. I won't watch Danny Garcia next fight, but dude is one of the best resumes. Any brothers who Google will see early in his career. Zab Judah. Good day, John. I hope it's all well. What's up, Rosaline Stewart? I love the support you've been giving me since day one. I appreciate you. So, Jack, what are you saying here? Needs to do an underappreciated resume video. I won't watch Danny Garcia next fight, but dude is one of the best resumes. Anyone bothers to Google it will see you. Zab Judah. Danny Garcia fought Zab? Danny Garcia. Are we talking about the Danny Garcia who lost to Errol Spence? Let's Google that. That's worth a Google. Danny Garcia is a stud, though. Philadelphia kid. He's talking about he wants to get a fight. He can't seem to get a fight right now. Inactive. Yeah, he's a Philly kid. He did fight Zab. That's crazy. He fought Eric Morales. Dude, Danny Garcia has fought Eric Morales twice. Amir Khan, Zab Judah, Lucas Matisse, who's a fucking stud, Lamar Peterson, Paulie Malignaggi, Robert Guerrero, the Ghost. He lost to Keith Thurman, beat Brandon Rios, lost to Sean Porter. His only losses are to Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, and Errol Spence Jr. That's a good call, mate. Jack, that's a good call. I might have to do it, Danny Garcia. That's a great idea for a video series, is an underappreciated sort of segment, like 6 to 7 minute videos on these guys. I'm going to take you up on that because there's some killers on this list, mate. And he's still only in his, how old's Garcia? Danny Garcia. Wikipedia. He's 36 years old. Yeah, Zab Judah beat Eric Morales twice. That was crazy. So, guys, I got to go. This is week 4 of 8. I'm also I'm a strength and conditioning coach, but I coach some power lifters. So for 8 weeks out of the year, I train. We will 1 rep max our back squat, our trap bar deadlift, our traditional deadlift, our sumo deadlift, and our bench press. So this is week 4 of 8 of me 1 rep maxing. I have a fucking gorilla coming down to my gym here he'll be here in about 30 minutes, but I got to go get stretched out. And I got to do my back squat 1 rep max, and I got to do my bench press today. So I'll get after that. Never knew that. He got a good resume. Yeah, Jack P, man. Kudos to you. That Danny Garcia resume is going to shock a lot of people. I'm going to do some content in our Facebook group, Boxing News Today, with Danny Garcia. We'll see what sort of reach it gets. But if anything, We got to educate the people. I'm going to do a video as well in the next few days. Guys, I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the support. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we're doing that prediction video on Bam versus Estrada. And if you didn't check the one out today, the prediction video on Teo versus Claggett, check that out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bang. Get after it.